Hey, welcome. This is The Process. My name is Dr. John Bush. We are continuing our 2022 Strength of Schedule Defense Against Position Team by Team lessons. This is a quick thumbnail going through it. I have a couple different ways to look at team schedule. I started, I think 155 maybe. Go back, find that, start over because I spent a lot more time on the background and whatnot. So I'm assuming you're kind of with the program. So I'm just going to give you kind of a thumbnail narrative of things, just points that it just occurs to me. There's no script here. This is just me looking at the data, thinking about things, and it's just kind of how I roll. So let's roll on with Minnesota, New England, New Orleans, and the Giants. Minnesota first. Let's see. So just real quick, FH first half, LH second half, and playoffs weeks 15, 16, and 17. Minnesota has a bye week 7. So it's a little bit early, kind of the last of the first part here. And this is our opponent list, and they have 4 easy opponents: Detroit, Washington, Jets, and Detroit again. So that's good. However, 3, 4, 5, and we're not counting week 16. So they have 4 tough games: New Orleans, Chicago back to back. Then out of the byes, Arizona, Buffalo, and New England. Good news for their Minnesota playoffs for Jefferson, Thielen, Dalvin Cook, etc. Fairly okay. As far as the running back here for Cooks, he does get kind of a nice draw after week 12. So the issue is, can he survive the wear and tear going in? Look at that. Extra tough, 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 all the way. So he's going to have a stretch of really tough go. And then week 12 to about week 16, he just has kind of a one tough. So he gets kind of a nice little stretch in here. And that may help you out rolling in the middle of your playoffs here. But just be aware that, I know people are picking Cook early, which is fine. I've certainly grabbed him in some of my 50-something redraft leagues, and I understand that. Passing wise, let's see here. Let's look at the wide receivers. So they get 3 weeks of kind of toughness. And, I don't know, I guess, is it Irv Smith? I don't know who the tight end is, but may have an opportunity to show. We'll see. If he comes out like the strength of schedule predicts, that's good news, and could be viable for streaming probably towards the back end of the season here. I'm not drafting Minnesota's D for the first or second week as far as any streaming defenses here. Let's see. Wide receivers. They got a tough row to hoe. It's, they have just 2 really easy weeks, and the rest of it's fairly easy but tough, and it's not the best for supposedly Jefferson having the best shot at being number 1. One might look back at this after the season and speculate there a little bit. So this is the table breaking it week to week. I also like to look at a visual. This is the bar graph. Anything above purple is above average easy. Extreme easy would be the green, and that's 4 of those. And below are hard, and extreme hard are the reds, and we got 5 there. So coming out of that bye, they've got 5 weeks here with, You know, they have, you know, the week 9 there, but the rest of it is, we're going to have some tough row to hoe here. But week 13, 14, and 16, not too bad. And even 15, 17 are, you know, kind of below average, but not just extreme there. So there may be some hope later in the season. So that's another way to look at their schedule. And the final way is a trend line. And you see that below the purple is harder. And the trend line pretty much is fairly tough for Minnesota to about week 12. They cross the kind of average and kind of stay pretty good till week 17 and 18. So you get a little reprieve in the back half of the season, but you get a little bit in the middle here. It's going to be kind of rough and tough here. So just be aware. I'm not saying not draft these players, but let's just say they're going to have to earn what you're drafting them at, right, by the schedule. Okay. New England, New England. I would say draft New England. Let's just start with that early. Looks like week 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is a not, and look at the playoffs. Goodness, 5. Yes, so you definitely want New England as a key to your streaming here. If you have a super deep bench, you might carry 2. I only carry 1. So I would probably not have them. In fact, weeks 12, 13, 14, people may drop them in streamers, and they would definitely be a pickup week 14 to maybe have for your playoffs here. So there's some positives there, but definitely for week 1, it is doable here. As far as easy, super easy, New England has 5, 8, 11, 12, nice, easy, and actually 1, 3, and all the playoffs, look at that, are overall nice and easy, but they have 4 tough. So kind of the opposite of Minnesota, a little bit more easy than tough here. So New England might surprise, and I've been getting some of their players at nice little takes later in the draft that might earn you more than you're paying for them there. So that's good. The running back by committee is going to have a rough time the first 4 weeks. Only week 2 is okay. Week 5 is pretty good, and week 8, but they have a tough thing going into the bye, week 10. But coming out of the bye and first couple of playoff weeks, 15, 16, not bad. So you might collect later in the season on those guys. The quarterback's going to have first couple tough weeks, but then gets a nice week 3, 4, and 5, and then 8, 9, 10, 11. But it's going to have to earn his biscuits there week 15 and 17. The wide receivers have some good weeks and bad, but I see a string of 4 through 7 kind of tough there. But I do like weeks 16 and 17. So that might be worth, and really coming out of the bye, if you look at it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 versus 2. So you have 7 games out of the bye, and 5 of them are predicted to be easy or very easy. So that's not too bad, actually. So it looks to me it's a tale of 2 halves for the wide receivers there. So definitely cherry pick some of those guys. Tight ends, Hunter Henry should earn his keep. Look at the playoffs. Nice. 3 nice weeks. So that's good. A little bit tough the 3 weeks before, but he does have a nice early season as well. First, what is that? 2, 5, first 5. He has 1 tough. That's not bad. So Hunter Henry's definitely, if you're streaming tight ends, he should be on your radar there to pair him up with some other tight ends that will, kind of can match. You can mix and match him and some others. So that's not bad. He did pretty good last year. So streaming with Hunter Henry is definitely on my menu here. Nice. Visual, there's kind of the mid-season week 5 to 12. You got 4 easy games, 2 tough, and one, a bye and one a below average. And then the playoffs stick out weeks 15, 16, 17, all above the easy level there, the purple. So it's not bad. And so, not, I think it's doable here. And I think this schedule sets up to extract some value out of some deeper plays here. So people like Parker, Myers, certainly the running backs, certainly the tight end are on my, hit list here to pick up at the right price. Of course, everything is some ways about that value, but some people may be overlooking some opportunities here. So it's definitely worth some later investments in your draft. Some interesting streaming kind of pattern. It looks like first couple weeks is pretty easy, kind of above, and then you drop below weeks 4, 5, 6, and then 7 through about 12 you come back, and 13, 14 is tough, but then those playoffs kind of collect for you. So not bad, actually. You got some nice, the trend lines are showing some nice blocks and runs here that, for daily fantasy sports and lineups, there's some opportunities that can be utilized here with some of the players you've drafted from New England here. So keep that in mind as well. And just to remind you, when I'm streaming, I like to look at the trend lines and try to line up teams that fit together. And I probably should do a lesson on that just to kind of, and try to kind of mix and match who I see kind of fit together in patterns. And then, people, of course, can do what they need to do. Okay, so now we got New Orleans here. Not bad. Looks like they have some interesting situations. We'll talk about the defense. Looks like week 1 is definitely interesting. Week 3 is nice. And the playoffs, weeks 15 and 16. So there are, and then week 6, 8, and 9 are very viable for a streaming D. So New Orleans is definitely on the menu, but you'll want to get rid of them 10, 11, 12, 13. They do have some tough. But after their bye, that might be a good week to pick them up where everybody's dropping them. You could collect and at least get 2 weeks out. Not bad at all. Looks like the first 5 weeks, New Orleans gets 3 nice games. Nice. Atlanta, Minnesota, and Seattle. 3 so-called real easy. Carolina's tough. Tampa Bay always plays them tough, but not too bad. Playoffs, week 15 seems to be a viable week to play them coming out of their bye. As far as Winston, good news is the first, 5 weeks out of the 6 weeks is all gravy. He should do well and get a nice run at kind of getting things together. And New Orleans could make some noise in the playoffs there. We'll see. This is looking interesting there. Wide receivers looking interesting. First 5, 6 weeks. There's only 2 kind of below average tough. So even week 7 is not too bad. And going into the bye and coming out, it's just week 16, 17 worry me a little bit about Thomas and whoever else there. The rookie will definitely be tested, those weeks as well. Tight ends, probably not playing the New Orleans tight end or drafting, but I do note kind of mid-pack, mid games 5 through about the week 13, he only has 3 tough versus 2, 4, 6. So 6 out of 9 easy. So there is some streaming potential on, I guess, if Troutman or I don't know whoever else is going to emerge, that might be something to kind of put on speed dial. The running backs, Kamara, Ingram, looks like they get 4 nice games in the first 6 weeks, 2 kind of tough, so And going into the bye, they're going to have to earn it, but playoffs weeks 15 and 17. So Kamara could be definitely earn his keep there, and I really like that. And Ingram is certainly viable as well, potentially in your playoffs. So that's not too bad. Just weeks 11, 12, 13. And actually, if you look 7 through 13, it's going to be a tough stretch. That's 5 out of 7 tough. So it looks like the first 6 pretty good, but then the next, what is that? Almost 7 is tough. And then the playoffs you get too easy. So that's not too bad. Okay, New Orleans. So there's some hope there for the New Orleans Saints. Okay, moving on. So visual here. Again, the first weeks 1, 4, and 5 are really nice. Week 2 is above average. So really 4, actually 5 out of the top first 6 is good. Week 3 is tough. So, and really to about week 9 you got some advantage, but you do have 10, 11, 12. It's kind of tough, and week 16 and 17 is a little bit below average. So there is some good, bad news for the playoffs, but the Saints kind of have an opportunity here to earn you a way into the playoffs. Just they may have some issues in the playoffs themselves. So don't get lazy here. Be awake to this scenario of what's going down. And then here's the trend line. Nice, probably first 6 weeks. This trend line, is tracking the 3rd week, but really stays above. We'll drop down mid-season. You got that bye coming in week 14, and then you drop in week 16 and 17. So there's some good getting you to the playoffs coming into it, but there could be some surprises later here. So not too bad, but it could be better, could be worse. But there are some weeks that could help you out as far as I'm seeing here. Finally, we're at the Giants here. Their bye is week 9. Giants, I'm not picking them up for week 1 defense streaming, but weeks 2 and 4. Okay, and you don't want them about week 12 on, so they're definitely out of the streaming mix most of the back half of the season here. There's a few select weeks if you're in a bind here, you might pick them up, but I'm probably looking elsewhere here. As far as toughness, the Giants have first 2 and 4 are really tough, and then weeks 7, 8, 10, 11, 13, 14, 15 are really easy. So one would say the Giants potentially have a sweet season for that, and that's probably due to the quarterback passing tight end. It is probably not due to Saquon Barkley. If you flip over to the RB DAPs here, we're talking 3 killer weeks for if Barkley could come out of week 6, everything intact, and collect on week 7 and 8, get a bye to refresh and come out, he has an opportunity to do okay, but Looks like mid-season's going to be where he'll peak. The quarterback's going to have 3 tough weeks here, but a nice beginning week with the passers. And they get some really easy games later on. So I do see Galladay, Shepard, those worth a late round draft for sure. Looks like some goodness here is what I can see, some value goodness. So if you can make it through about to week 5, I think we're good. Pardon me. Hate allergies. Hey, my dog doesn't like allergies either. Okay, so we talked about the tight ends, right? Tight ends, first 2 weeks you don't want them, but weeks 5 through like to 12, hey, is not bad. So I don't know what tight I don't know what tight end is there, but it is potentially, if one starts coming out, and it might be worth picking them up in a stream situation. But I actually don't even know. So I probably haven't drafted whoever that is. I think they got Conklin. Who did they get? Ingram? I don't remember. They got somebody. And do have some nice DAPs, weeks 5 through about week 14, and 17 is not bad in the playoffs here. Okie dokie, seems pretty good. And let's look at this. Look at this. From week 7 on to 16, this is incredible. Probably the best in the league right here. The Giants have no excuse, especially in the passing. Okay, I can see Barkley having some issues, folks. So I know he's going later, and I think there may be some issues with him. But if he can survive, he may be a good trade for target for week 7 on. So that may be something to put in there as well, in case people get a little bit, in case he kind of flubs the dub early on, first 5 or 6 weeks, you might be able to collect him in a trade or something. People may be down on him. Just kind of keep that in the back of your mind on how this might work there. So I really like that. But this is spectacular here as far as how this works. And you can see the trend line. Look at this. Stays at week 5, and then just you collect. It's all gravy after about week 5 overall. I know there are particular positions that are tougher than others, but I'm saying coming into weeks 6, 7, you're going to be glad you drafted some of those late round Galladay, Shepard, Tony, whoever else, because they may come alive and give you more value than you paid. And Barkley could give it, and watch that tight end as well. So, and of course the quarterback, I guess Jones, could be worth a stream. Could surprise in daily fantasy sports here. Could help you out. Could be people are not looking, especially after about week 5. They're going to start coming live about week 6. So that may catch some people off guard there. So maybe worth your time to invest a little bit in your drafting here. Late. I'm not saying reach. I'm saying late. Okay, go with the value. Okay, this is my SOS DAP talk on these 4 teams. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you that are listening. Yay, thank you for hanging around. I'm glad 1 or 2 of you listened. Good for you. I hope I help you out. But you're saying, well, why are you doing all that? Well, it helps me because this stuff I'm going to do anyway for myself. So you're getting to look over my shoulder at my metrics and how I use to win a little money here. And anyway, okay, come back. We're continuing our lessons. Woo, having fun.